Well, it looks like no one watched this movie this past weekend, but I watched it. I want to talk about it. Hopefully you guys give a shit to hear me talk about it. Here we go. A Monster Calls. So A Monster Calls is a movie among the top 10 highest grossing movies. Its opening weekend this past weekend came in 13th. Yeah, I told you, no one watched this. The movie revolves around a kid named Connor who has a lot of turmoil in his life. His mom is really sick, his dad is nowhere to be seen, bullies pick on him at school. So one day this tree comes to life. It's voiced by Liam Neeson. The tree's like, I'm gonna tell you some stories. Connor's like, what? You're gonna tell me what? That's it? That's what you're gonna do? Not gonna lie, I kinda thought that too. But then the tree starts telling stories to this kid. These stories are applicable to his life, his interpretation of what's going on in his inner turmoil, and the movie really all comes together and it gives you a pretty good time. First of all, the kid in this movie is a good actor, and that's always, you're like, whoa, a kid's the main star? But it totally worked out for this one. Also, I liked the tree. Not only for the fact that it's voiced by Liam Neeson, which makes the tree an instant badass, but when the tree lays out his story, you have your thoughts on it, and then the tree gives you this other angle to look at. You're like, yeah. But yeah, didn't see it that way. I mean, you see the stories as the kid sees the stories, and then Liam Neeson's tree is like, oh, or this. Felicity Jones was great too. It's like I see Felicity Jones' acting and range for what it is, and if she plays up what it is, it's just fantastic in it. She's great for dramas like this. I could never see Felicity Jones being in a comedy. Maybe she just hasn't shown that side of her. I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't actually quantify that. But Felicity Jones was just heartbreakingly good as the mom who wants to be there for her kid. Really, the only anchor this kid has in his life other than the tree, which is why he created the tree, and her place in the story was a very sad one. Hell, I like Toby Kebbell in this movie. Toby Kebbell's in it briefly, not for long. Toby Kebbell really is the only element in this movie that has quips. I don't want to say quips, really. I think that's the wrong word for it. It's very human moments of humor where he just kind of drops these little nuggets here and there, and I thought he was a great element in here. But really, what A Monster Calls is a movie about letting go, or at least accepting your reality. This is one of those movies, while you're watching it, you're on the fringe, you're like, I enjoy it, but I don't know how much. And the way the movie wraps up in the end is what gives the movie its beauty and gravity. One thing I need to address right now, this is not a movie for kids. I mean, I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this kid gets a friend, that's awesome, that's great, oh, imaginary friends. Good for kids, right? Not really. Not that the movie's bad for kids, it just deals with issues that kids are really detached from if you're thinking like, 5-year-olds. This is not a movie for 5-year-olds, this is a movie for teenager, like 13 on. I'm just saying in terms of the development of children, I feel like teenagers on will actually get the concepts this movie deals with. Little kids will be like, why isn't Groot beating up the bullies? I mean, and where's Rocket? Yeah, let's watch Groot beat up the bullies. But in terms of the movie's themes and how it deals with it and the stories that the tree gives and the tree itself, I thought everything really came together well in here. I enjoyed A Monster Calls a lot. It's a beautiful movie with a really heavy message. I will say for me, A Monster Calls is worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. The monster, Groot, and Treebeard the Ent. I'd love to, dude, get that collaboration going. Not gonna lie, I'd pay for that bombshell of imagination. Alright guys, so A Monster Calls, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Matt says many of you did not see it. Or what's your favorite story of imagination and reality? You know those stories where it's like, it's imagination, or is it? Don't know. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.